What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, August 14th, 2023. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you as always. Proud to be a part of this number. All right, we're talking recruiting. We got to get updated. We got to reshuffle the board, start from scratch, basically, on a few positions here. We're going to talk about what are the priorities here for this 24 class as we move into the 2023 season. And as these high school seniors, begin their seasons, some of them are still taking visits, some are done, some are up in the air. So let's lay it out here. I will get into the chat and see your comments and questions. My question for the chat is, in this class, in this 2024 class, would you rather have one more 4-star edge rusher or one more 4-star safety? One or the other. You can't have both. 4-star safety, 4-star edge rusher. That's the question for the chat. Hit me with your comments in there and I'll get to you and we'll go through them all. Let me lay out today's topic and get your feedback on that as well. So obviously we've had a ton of hits and misses in this recruiting class for 2024. We did hit on Sunday. That was a huge get Sunday afternoon with Jeremiah McClellan, 4-star receiver committing to the Buckeyes. You got Justin Scott. That was a big hit. The D tackle, 5-star from Chicago, committed to the Buckeyes over Michigan. I want to continue to reiterate that. That was a Buckeye win over Michigan and Notre Dame. Okay. And you can mix in Miami there too if you want. But so that was early July. That was a huge addition for the Buckeyes, but that was a monster. And we didn't even see that one coming. Then you got key verbal commitments from Bryce West, Aaron Scott, Jalen McClain, Miles Lockhart this summer. But the misses. We missed on KVA, Kingston Viliamuasa. I didn't think I'd have to say that ever again. Missed on Dylan Stewart. Missed on Marquise Lightfoot. Missed on KJ Bolden. So the Buckeyes are looking for a big finish to the preseason recruiting calendar so that we can turn our focus completely on the season and the schedule and try to win a championship, obviously. So what are the Buckeyes recruiting needs from here? One key is, so after falling short a couple times this summer, after having a lead and falling short, everybody's wondering, why do the Buckeyes seem to struggle with top targets, close to top targets, and when they seem to be in the lead, So let's talk, after picking up McClellan this weekend, we absolutely have to close strong for Edric Houston, the D lineman out of Buford, Georgia. He's deciding on August 22nd. That's a week from tomorrow. Right now, there's a steady confidence that the Buckeyes are in a winning position. We're all on high alert for any potential winds of change in the next week. So as we know, teams are this is when they make their final bids, literally with cash bids on his services. So, and it's going to continue probably down to the 11th hour next Tuesday. So the Buckeyes have the fewest commitments of any team ranked inside the top 10. Got 20. Need to pick up a little bit of momentum before the final recruiting push that'll happen once the season starts. So again, Houston is a must-win recruitment. There aren't many. Let's talk O-linemen. There aren't many offensive linemen left in the 2024 recruiting board for Justin Fry. You got Brandon Baker, obviously, but all of the focus around his recruitment has been with Texas and Oregon. But the Buckeye staff actually believes that we're not just in the recruitment, but a real threat to win it. So with some national recruiting folks, they don't seem to give the Buckeyes a real chance in this recruitment. But Baker's made 2 visits to Ohio State and is in near constant communication with Justin Fry ever since the visit. So don't short sell the Buckeyes on that recruitment. Then you got Jordan Seton. With Seton, the Buckeyes are working to make themselves a top contender once again. They were early on in the recruitment. Seton said recently that an official visit to Ohio State should happen, and the Buckeyes are aiming for either the Penn State game in the shoe or the mid-November night game with Michigan State. His commitment would be a huge surprise, but a decision is months away, probably going down to the December signing date. And it'll have a number of ups and downs. This is going to be a roller coaster kind of recruitment. It's important that Justin Fry and the Buckeyes determine if there's real interest in these 2 offensive linemen, Baker and Seton. So if not, they can move on and make backup plans and start looking elsewhere, and once the season gets rolling for the high school kids, they can start checking tape, see if there's anybody that pops off the screen, maybe they need to double back on, So let's talk D-line. No matter what happens with Edric Houston, the Buckeyes still need 1 or 2 DNs in the class of 24. So the Buckeyes will need a surprise commitment somehow. And starting there, we got the 5-star D lineman from Louisiana, Dominic McKinley, 6'5", 290. He's likely to decide in the next 3 weeks. So keep your calendars marked for that. There's been a quiet confidence that the Buckeyes are in a good position for this commitment, but Texas and Oklahoma, again, are the favorites from the national recruiting honks. So we'll see what happens there. Also, there's Larry Johnson's working on Charleston Collins. He's 6'4", 250-pound, 4-star defensive end. He's currently committed to Arkansas. Has not made any visits to Ohio State yet, but you get him on campus, that really flips things and gets the Buckeyes in the door. So let's see what Coach Jay can do on those 2 fronts. All right, now talking safeties. So Perry Eliano's got to get his shit together. He couldn't get his second cousin in KJ Bolden. So now where do we go? So it's back to the drawing board at safety. We've got to find another safety to complement Jalen McLean. The plan throughout the cycle has been to take three safeties, but that could change and you just end up with 2. Then you have to look at the portal after the season's over and try and get a 3rd safety. So after KJ committed to Florida State, with most high school programs just a week away from kicking off their seasons, there will be time for Perry Eliano to find a couple of options. So going back to the drawing board, they'll check back in on Reggie Powers, currently committed to Michigan State. He's from Circleville, Ohio. So how he handles playing the deep safety spot for Centerville this fall will definitely be the thing that Eliano is focused on. The in-person evaluation period is hard for college coaches to take advantage of during the season because obviously they're in practices, in meetings, working on the next opponent. So Ohio State has watched hundreds of new defensive backs and have begun circling back to reevaluate players. They've already recruited a little, again, like Reggie Powers, but the Buckeyes pulled off of Reggie Powers back in the spring evaluation period. So they weren't 100% sold on him. He did have the offer, but probably wasn't a committable offer. He'll play more deep safety this fall, and that could show some different skills to the Buckeyes. And Coy Beasley, he's another in-state guy. The Buckeyes are unlikely to pursue him at all. But then you got the national guys like Zaquan Patterson, the 4-star prospect and teammate of Jeremiah Smith at Chaminade Madonna down in Hollywood, Florida. Buckeyes had a great unofficial visit with Patterson and his family back in June. They're continuing to push for an official visit this fall during the season. So confidence is starting to fall off for Patterson, but if they can get him on campus along with his family this fall, that will turn things around, and that would probably be an official visit most likely. So one more dude is you're going to hear a bunch of names at safety. I mean, just prepare yourselves. So one more dude is Notre Dame commit, Bronte Johnson. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana, 6'3", 170. He is a 9'3", 4-star, nationally ranked number 174 in the class, number 12 athlete, and number 4 player in Indiana. He's extremely close with Buckeye commitment, Milan Graham, and he's always been a Buckeye fan. He's made 3 visits to Ohio State, one for the Michigan game last year, and then once in June, and once in September of 2021. So another name to put out there. You're going to have a bunch of them coming, I know. So possible flip candidate, we'll see. Same with a couple of the D linemen I mentioned for Larry Johnson. So those are the big updates right now at the key positions we're focused on. Again, we could take another receiver. Don't really need it, but with losing like 3 to 5 guys after this season, we're going to need preferably 4 in this class. We got the 3 right now. Tackle, we need Justin Fry to go out there, see if these 2 high-end O-linemen are actually interested and getting them on campus again for a visit with Baker and Jordan Seton. Seton goes to IMG, is from the DMV area. So it's on Justin Fry to land a big fish, because pretty much all of his O-line recruits, they're good, yes. And Ian Moore is one of the top-rated tackles in the class, but they're all from within a couple hours of Columbus, right? So it's you need to get a national guy, for me to be impressed when it comes to Justin Fry. So, and then safety again, I'm not sold on Reggie Powers. He's like a 3-star. We'll see what he does this year, playing the deep safety. But the Buckeyes like versatility. They don't want guys that just play one position. So, especially on defense, it doesn't matter what position that is. They want guys that can play multiple. So, safety is like the most multiple position. You need to be able to play all 3. The slot, the free, and the strong. So, a lot of dudes to look over, and the Buckeyes will be circling back on. When it comes to the D lineman that I mentioned, was it McKinley? Yeah, from Louisiana. I'm not so sure about him. I don't have a great feeling. He only came on for the official visit. It's the only time he's been here. I'm sure that Larry Johnson's working on him, and the GA from Louisiana. So I know the Buckeyes say they have quiet confidence that they're in a good position, but yeah, we've heard that before. I mean, come on. So, and getting the flip from Charleston Collins would be interesting. It would be nice, but he's from Arkansas. I would imagine that's a difficult poll. So we'll see. So let's check on the chat. What's happening in here, folks? Oh, it's a busy chat for a Monday. Good to see everybody in here. PC first. You called first. And Billy says, I want you to have one, PC. Billy's response to edge versus safety. He says, edge. Billy, I could have written that for you. But yes, I agree. Temper, howdy. Billy says, question for the chat, rather than a 5-star D and top 20 O or vice versa. Okay. Good question, Billy. Can I partake in your question? I'm going to anyway. Why can't we have both? Seems like we can have both. I think that's very possible this year. We had like a top 20 D last year and top 5 offense. I think we could. I would take the top 20 offense in today's game. You got to be able to score points. We average 40 a game. and we're doing okay in that regard. Temper says lineman, both sides of the ball. Okay. PC says Houston. I say yes. PC says Baker. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. PC says Seton. I think there's a good shot. Okay. I like the positivity. PC says McKinley. Texas has a crystal ball, but OSU is showing as the leader, according to 24/7. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that crystal ball. We'll see what happens there. PC thinks that Nigel Smith shouldn't be written off either. 24/7 shows OSU leading for him too, but Oklahoma has a crystal ball. Right. Don't they have a couple crystal balls to Oklahoma for him? I've kind of written him off, but if you can get back in the door and get him on campus for another visit, I'm all for it. PC says, I think Powers is a definite possibility. We maybe should have went for him from the jump, but I know they were looking for bigger fish before him. I get it. What are the chances we could flip someone? What do you think, Joe? Flipping ain't easy, as they say. Yes, it's possible. Depends on who the kid is and where he's committed to. If it's like a Zaquan Patterson who commits to a South Florida or a Florida school like Miami or Florida State even, and that program has a down year, then that's good for the Buckeyes when it comes to flipping. Same with Notre Dame. If the dude I just mentioned, Bronte Johnson, Bronte Johnson, he goes by Tay, T-A-E, but Bronte Johnson, if Notre Dame doesn't have a good season, look out. I could see that one being a flip. He's friends with Milan Graham, and he grew up a Buckeye fan, bordering state, just a few hours from Columbus. I could see that one being a flip. And who knows what Notre Dame is going to be this year? What if they go 7-5? Could be difficult. So yeah, flips are an option. You just can't bank on them. It's tough. What else we have here in the chat? Adam Sarver, what's up, Adam? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you. What about JoJo Trader? Heard he's an amazing athlete and plays safety. Buckeyes are recruiting him as a receiver. He seems pretty much locked into South Florida, staying in Miami. So I don't expect him to be an option. Brian Hartline does still have a relationship there. Plus, you got Jeremiah Smith, JoJo's teammate, in his ear, I'm sure. So, but most teams are recruiting him as a receiver. I don't know if anybody's going to take him as a corner or a safety. I've heard he plays a good corner in the 7-on-7 circuit. So they say he can lock down half the field in 7-on-7. PC says we would take JoJo at any point, any time. The ball is in his court at this point. Yeah. It's been a while since he's been on campus, though. He hasn't really shown an inclination to get on a plane. He was supposed to come up with Jeremiah back in June and didn't make the trip. Noah 87 asks, can Scott or West play safety? No, you want those guys at corner, man. Those guys are good corners, physical. They can get up in a receiver's face. Press man coverage is what we want to play, and those guys are good at it. Long arms, they got the length. Can't waste those long arms, man. 6'1", Aaron Scott's 6'1", got the length. Billy says, will we have safeties? We're going to lose Lathan Ransom after this year, that's for sure. Court Williams is out with an ACL. T's and P's for him. So yeah, you still got some depth there, but I don't know what else do you really have. You lost a couple last year. You're going to lose Proctor for sure. Carter could be back. He has one more year of eligibility after this. Cam Martinez still hasn't shown us much. Let's see what we get out of him. He's going to need to show the ability to play all three safety positions, though, not just the nickel or the slot. Kai Stokes, I like him, sure. And, of course, Sonny. Sonny has to come back for one more year. So you do have some safeties there. And then you got Bonsu, Hartford, and Hawkins, the true freshmen coming up. So maybe we'll get by okay with just six or seven guys coming back. So maybe we don't need three, but that's what the coaches want. PC says, stepped away from it. Do we have the number one class for player rating? We did. I don't think George has gotten anybody. I haven't checked it today. Let's check it real quick. Team rankings. Average. Yep, still number one. Oh, we increased a little bit. 9360. Georgia is at 9349. Bama 9290. Still coming on the outside. Buckeyes got 21 commits. Georgia 26. Bama 17. So doing well. I like it. Billy says, is the NIL situation in Miami still going south, or so maybe flip Lightfoot? Yeah, that's an option. Larry Johnson is going to stay in his ear. It's just, are the Ohio State NIL collectives going to match or better the offer, that Miami's putting out there? I don't know what's up with Ruiz and his federal investigations and all that. I would be concerned. I would be definitely asking for my freaking money as soon as possible. And if those checks start bouncing, I would start bouncing myself. So yeah, we'll stay on the flip there. Travis, what's up, Travis? Jeremiah, good to see you. Travis says priority number one is Baker, number two, Edric. Really? We only have one D lineman in the class. You think Houston shouldn't be a priority? That's interesting, Travis. Billy points out we do have 4 O-line commits already, 1 on D-line. PC says, I'm good with that, Travis. I can see the need, but I would be more interested in Houston. Stephen Cherry's back and better than ever. Good to see you, Stephen. PC says safety should be good next year, but yeah, big fish hunting at that position is a good idea. Sure. PC says Bama at 17 commits, still waiting for the Bama rush at the end. Is it even going to happen? Yeah, I would bank on it. Until it doesn't happen, it's going to happen. Just my opinion. Travis says, I was just thinking getting an elite left tackle is more important. We have good depth at D-line. I'm worried about our tackles. That's a legit point. I see you. You do have Ian Moore coming in the 24 class at tackle. The rest of the recruits that are coming in, Mark Nave and the Armstrong guys, those are mostly interior guys, most likely going forward. So Ian Moore is the only tackle we have in the class. Then we also have, we'll be losing Matt Jones at guard. You got Cutler for one more year, I believe. Enoch Vamahi, those are interior guys. Fryer, you got him coming back. Zen Mahalski will be back. Josh Simmons, Jimmy Simmons, whatever he is being called. Tegra, Fitzpatrick. And then you got in the 23 class, you got Luke Montgomery. He's cracking that 2 deep right now. So you got him coming back. Then you got Miles Walker. He's probably down the depth chart. Then Padilla and Severeld, those guys are probably interior. So At tackle, you got a handful of guys there that are returning, but you still got to keep piling those tackles. You got to keep racking them up, you know. That's a good point, Travis. PC says Saban is on the downturn. Oh, that is sacrilege, PC. I've said that in the past, but I think this year it's for real. If you keep saying it every year, eventually it has to come true, right? Adam says Lightfoot watches Miami go 5-7. That money I would question. Yeah, for sure. DK Cooks, what's up? Welcome to the show. Running out of time. Every day is less. It's less 5 stars. Yeah, I understand, DK. Billy says elite tackle is critical if he's out there. Yes. Yeah, if these offensive tackles are interested, I'm talking Jordan Seton and Brandon Baker. If those guys are totally interested, then you gotta fucking put the full weight of the recruiting staff on it. You know, that's just got to be Justin Fry's priority. So Travis said he's priority number 2. That's pretty high. That's still a pretty high priority. Yes, it is. Travis, good job. I got you. We're straight. Billy says changing coordinators probably hasn't helped Alabama in recruiting. Yeah, that'll hurt you a little bit. Travis says Georgia has 6 or 7 tackles in this class and no interior line. Do they only recruit tackles? That's a good question. I don't know. It seems like you got to recruit some interior guys, don't you? At some point, seems wise. You can't move everybody from tackle down inside. Eventually, you're going to hit those 6'6", 6'7" guys. They aren't good inside. PC says, I don't know much about Seton. Who is he? What's he about? I just heard his name today, but I'm not a recruiting nerd. Well, be thankful, PC, that you're not a recruiting nerd. But I talked about him a little bit here and there. Let me pull up his profile again. Goes to IMG. He's from Washington, D.C., though. Yeah, he can play either guard or tackle in the college level. Plays left tackle right now at IMG. Has legit size and length. You know, I'm a huge fan of length. 6'5", 287. They have him projected here as an interior O lineman on 24/7, but he's got the height and he'll have the weight to play tackle. He's a 9'8", number 1 interior O lineman. So he plays strong competition. That's one thing you can say about IMG. They play, you know, the top schools in the country. So he's getting tested every week against edge rushers. He's got a nasty streak and he's got a high level of athleticism. So I like him. It's just a matter of, does he like the Buckeyes and does he like Justin Fry, you know? Matthew, what's up, Matthew? Good to see you. He says we need Houston. Yep, exactly. I agree. PC says, yeah, regarding Saban comment, eventually I'm going to be right. You will. And that's the beauty of it, PC. Billy asks, did Lambert commit? No, he just got another Notre Dame crystal ball, though. Gerby Lambert, the tackle from Massachusetts. So looks like the Domers are in a comfortable lead there. Yeah, PC says the same. Lambert isn't coming. He's thinking about other life after football. He would do well with OSU, but I don't think he's much into football as getting education, right? Billy, I got some good education at OSU. PC, wow, Seton sounds pretty good. Let's see what happens there. I'm with you. I like him already. Adam says, heard Arvell Reese is getting looks at DN. Softens the blow a bit if we finish this recruiting class with Scott and Houston only. Yeah, that's a good point, Adam. I think they're going to use Arvell Reese as more of that jack position. He's kind of that in-between size. So We'll see. He's not a legit DN. I mean, he in high school, he rushed the passer a lot, but also dropped into coverage like the jack position would do. So that's why I think he fits that more than a true D end. I don't see him being like a true edge rusher. He would have to probably grow a couple inches. So we'll see what happens there. But he's going to get reps at both linebacker and at DN, you know, to work on all of his moves, because you gotta have kind of a multiple set of skills, you know, to rush the passer and drop into coverage, you know, as a versatile player. So, all right, folks. Hey, we got 46 people in here. If you guys could all hit like, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Please hit the like button. If you want to go crazy, make sure you subscribe. Recruiting does not sleep, so we'll keep you updated here. And we've got some interesting things coming up for the Sunday show. I think we're gonna incorporate a segment where we take phone calls. So we'll be talking about that. We'll probably start that once the season gets rolling. So like we'll do it maybe in the prep for week 1 coming up in a couple Sundays. So just wanted to announce that to you guys. So you have that to look forward to, which is nice. Couple of comments here to close it out. PC says the problem with the jack is that it isn't used every play. That seems to be a situational thing. Yeah, exactly. He says, hopefully they don't try it again this year with the wrong guy. Again, yes, exactly. Steven says, Houston not coming. What? Steven, come on, man. He also says Saban's still lurking in the weeds, and we know LJ hasn't closed well recently. It's a good point on Coach Johnson. I can't argue with you, but don't tell me Houston isn't coming, man. Timper says Arvell Reese could back up Melton. Yes, exactly. And CJ Hicks. Don't forget CJ Hicks is going to work in at the jack as well. Adam says 60% of the time it works all the time. Exactly. Sex Panther. All right. 5:03. I got to take a pee. Don't look at me. I don't know. I'm just saying shit. All right. That's all I got for you today, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Keep it locked in here. Make sure, please, once again, hit like. I would really appreciate it. And it would be a personal favor to me. So thank you for everything today, all the comments. You guys were awesome. And we'll talk to you Wednesday. Go Bucks.